Asher, y'all. And I see him get hit. I said, ooh. Because he was laying there. And I said, he gonna get up? And they was just looking. But it was just a sec though. Homie got up and shook it off. And he was like, yeah, I'm good, coach. When you told her mom to let you try to handle it and get Carrie to come to them, that is not what I thought you meant, girl. Freaking Billy, he was like, I was like, Spencer flinched. I was like, where's the fly? We've been trying to get a hold of you. I said, oh, she said we. And Layla, she was like, we? I said, you heard it too. Spencer, bus. He know what a bus at? Yo, when I saw Jordan knock Spencer out, I was like, Dad, he helped you get that arm back. I was like, this game about to be heated. And we didn't even get to see it. And all I hear is, I look. I said, oh, she really did shoot her. Sure enough, got shot right here. I said, yo. Hey guys, what's up? It's Kaya. Y'all, we're done. This was the last episode, man. Season 3, episode 19, Surviving the Times. And when I tell, okay, this episode, I was tight because they left us on so many cliffhangers. But y'all, this episode was crazy. Which, you know what? Let's get into it because there's so much. Okay, so off the top, we get this foreshadow that's 48 hours in advance, and y'all, I love when they do these. So I see Coop, and she getting pulled over. I was like, dang, Mo done set her up, but at least she's not dead. So then we have Spence, who he's throwing and catching hands. So I'm like, and you know it's at the championship game. What then happened? And it's Beverly that he's throwing hands with, so ain't those supposed to be your people? And then we have my boy Asher, which I told y'all, Asher he been growing on me and he's been doing good and everything. So when I see him and he's throwing a fit up in the locker room and he got tears in his eyes, y'all, I was like, ain't no way this boy crying like that and still played in the game. He ain't play. I knew he didn't get to play. But why? Because homeboy is acting like his life is, yeah, no football. He don't work so hard this whole season to come back. And this is how he was acting? I said, let it roll. Y'all. Okay. This opening scene with Spence, this is the official opening scene with Spence and Liv. Come on. It's the conversation. Okay, let's break down this conversation. So, yes, we've been waiting, y'all, and they just started their relationship, official relationship. But just this conversation that they're having right now it felt like a friendship as well as like a cute little romantic scene between your boyfriend, because they're going back and forth about who she's going to be rooting for in the game, which I thought was so cute. And she's like, I can't root for both. And he's like, no, because, he's joking around, but also, that's his woman now, you better be rooting for me. But yeah, she's like, I can't root for my school and my brother's team as well as my dad and he's just like, you can't even say it. And I'm like, that whole thing right there, so cute. Rooted in their friendship. And that's, I think, what I love the most about it, because it didn't feel awkward at all. When you're newly in a relationship and everything and you're trying to feel out making that transition. So for them, because they had so much previous experience with their friendship and, are we getting in this relationship? We have these feelings for each other. So all of that building up till now has strengthened who they are individually, so that now that they're in a relationship, it don't even matter. It's just smooth, y'all, for the most part, because y'all saw homegirl was still struggling, but just a little bit. The fact that she couldn't get boyfriend out, which, all right, my girl, listen, from where she started, she's saying also because it's hard for her to still believe, but also she's wanted Spencer since the moment she laid eyes on him, y'all. Since she stared at the back of his head and she could see that side profile, she was like, you could come share my computer with me. She knew up front that she wanted him. And to actually have that be a reality where, yes, you've made these confessions before, but now we can actually act on it and be in a relationship together. and still keep that friendship, she don't believe it. Neither do I. I'm just like, is it real? It is. So, he's more chill about it. He's like, I got my woman. Girl, we together. Like, we're not playing those games. Y'all know. He when they was up in the car, he was like, just say what it is, Liv. And then even up in the house, he was like, you ain't gotta tell me twice, right? So he know what it is. He ain't trying to play these games. So she's like, boyfriend. And he's like, you could barely get it out because she don't believe it, y'all. It's gonna take her some time. So yeah, they're having this little conversation, and for her, she's wondering if he feels weird about, the new dynamic in their relationship, because not everyone knows, and it's a shift for them. He don't care. For the most part, he was just like, yeah, I don't feel weird about it. He did try to contact Layla, which I was like, props to him for that, because he cares enough to let her know, which, listen, I'm all for that. Layla, she deserves to know. So somebody gotta tell her. So, he attempted to tell her. She ain't pick up, which is cool. He made the effort. They could just go about their business now. The effort was put out there. And now we get to see this cute side of them with the hand holding. Y'all, it wasn't even it was you comfortable at that point when you got the full grasp there, and they're locking hands. I was like, let's go. Get this relationship on the road. And that's also why she's so hesitant to dive into the relationship, because y'all know Liv, she cares about other people too much. Karen Liv. And for the most part, she mostly cares how Layla would react to finding out the news of her and Spencer now being in a relationship. But also in general, everyone else, would they react in a positive or negative way? So she's more worried about outside input on their relationship. No, girl. Because, alright, just say Layla's like, I don't approve of this relationship, which we know she doesn't, and you and I cannot be friends if you decide to continue this relationship with him. You mean tell me you're gonna kick Spencer to the curb so that way you can be friends with Layla? She ain't gonna do that. You only live once, girl. Get your man. So why do you care? Everyone else is moving on with their lives. It's time for you to be happy. Liv just needs to learn how to take what's hers and know that it's for her and that she deserves it, and that no one else should be able to take away what is hers. So once she learns that and gets that mindset, she's gonna be alright. But y'all saw Simone coming through. I was like, girl, I knew Simone was growing on me. She pulls up, Spencer dips out because he's being respectful to Liv, because she's not ready to let people know. She's trying to let them know gradually. She thought she was letting Simone know something, but Simone already knew, just like we knew. So Simone was just sitting there looking, and Liv was just like, we're together? She ain't even care. Why? Well, she cared because she was like, girl, it's about damn time. And I was like, tell her again, Simone. Tell her again, because we've been waiting. And she's talking because Liv is worried about Layla, Asher, everyone else. Simone let her know, girl, Vegas, months ago, Vegas done came and gone. Those feelings, listen, they already been hurt. So anything else now, it won't be as painful as what they experienced before. That initial shock of it all, they're not gonna feel that no more. Now it's just gonna be like, oh, so you were serious like that, And she let her know, why do you care? It's about time that y'all got together, because you've been putting yourself second, third, fourth, fifth all this time, and now it's finally time that you actually get the relationship that you want. That's a good friend right there, y'all. I'll be thinking I'll be going crazy sometimes. So Coop is in the cafe with Layla and Preach, and apparently Layla's not going to Vegas with Coop. Didn't she push up her finals so that way she can go to Vegas with Coop? Or did I miss something? I could have sworn homegirl said she got them finals pushed up so that way she could go. Let me know down below. So apparently they're not going. We all knew Preach wasn't going. Andre going. And we know Andre, he over here working with Mo, so that way they can get Coop. So Layla suggests that she takes Patience on tour with her, and that way they can perform Family Over Everything. And I was like, oh, I actually really like that song when they first released it. So they could do that. But Coop over here talking about she's super tired. She ain't gonna want to go to Vegas. Girl, you ain't even ask her. And that's why Layla talking about too. You ain't even ask her. So, and plus, that's supposed to be your girl. So if she wanted to go to Vegas to, okay, yeah, perform, but then also to spend more time with you, don't you think you want to put the offer out there? Don't be putting words in her mouth. So she contemplating that, y'all, because she ain't trying to hang with Andre. The best part of this scene, though, is when Preacher's showing Coop the teacher, and yo, these writers, I tell you, this season they've had some of the best clapbacks. And she's like, why does it say Coop so big? And he's like, because when I showed you the prototype a few weeks ago, you said make it say Coop bigger. Yeah. It's mostly just the fact that his face the entire time is so serious as he's responding. So our only response is, well, can we make it smaller? Girl, no. He's like, you leave for tour in 2 days. No. Asher's daddy popping up after all this time. I'm like, this man's been gone this entire season, and he always pops up at the most convenient time for him when it's like the height of football and Asher is doing well. It's the height of football. Asher's doing well. And now he's back around, all smiles and everything, caring about what's going on with his son. Sir, where his mama at and her new man? Because she seemed like she cared a little bit more right now. And, you know, he's talking to Asher, trying to catch up on everything, talking about Spencer. Worry about your own son. And Asher gets a call, right? And I was like, dang, who this? And he picks up, and it's Coastal California calling. And apparently, it's a full ride. I said for now, because we saw at the beginning of the episode, ain't no way you gonna still have that full ride and be acting like that. So we know something tragic happened. I said, wait for it, it's coming, because, and he looks so happy too, him and his daddy over here cheesing away. I knew you could do it, son. So happy. So Papa Billy is over, and he's there to see Spence, but he's there with Mama Grace right now. And I'm just wondering what that conversation was before Spence came in. Were they chatting about her, Carter, or about him and Mama Laura officially getting back together? I don't know. They could have showed us some of that. And so Spence comes in, and you know, he's a little skeptical because y'all know Papa Billy. He is either good news, bad news. He don't know. So Spence don't know, and Papa Billy's acting a little secretive with it, and we find out that he is an All-American. I said, get it, boy. Now he done got his woman, and he's an All-American. He said, and y'all see, y'all, I told y'all, Mama Grace ain't no mama like Mama Grace. I mean, my mama is, but I mean, on this show, ain't no mama on this show like Mama Grace, because y'all see how proud she was for her baby. She was like, yeah, she was more excited than he was. Yes, that's my baby, that's my son. Loyal, dedicated mama, hardworking mama. That's Mama Grace. And I was like, Miss, you did that. You earned this for him because you have been there for him every step of the way. And he deserves it. Yo, I thought Frosto was getting just a little bit better. No. So annoying. So he comes up in the office, Billy cheesing away at Spencer's interview that he's doing for, you know, now being All-American and chatting about mac and cheese, which took me right back to the little Friendsgiving. And he's sitting here talking about, oh, that's what he doing when we got a state championship in 2 days, and he's over here talking about mac and cheese. And he says, but, okay, backtrack. He was like, we have a state championship in 2 days, and our best players over here talking about mac and cheese. Did you not hear what you just said? Your best player, which means the rest of you can catch up, because the rest of y'all can do a lot more work leading up to this game than Spencer could. He can talk about all the mac and cheese he wants to because he's the best player. So I don't understand. You know what? It's not even that I don't understand. I do. He's jealous, and he's just annoying, and he likes to get on Spencer's tail because you're supposed to be the resource. My man, he the resource now. Y'all been seeing he been showing up for that title. So don't even try to start on him just because you're not an All-American. You're not getting no good mac and cheese. And you have a lot of work to do to be on the same level as Spencer. Why are you so tight? So we're at Beverly's practice and they're going hard at it, trying to prepare for the championship. And listen, Jordan's been practicing this whole time, secretly, but he's been training this whole time, trying to get himself back to performance quality. So he's expecting to play in the championships, but no. Coach Montez, she was like, listen, I gotta do what's best for the team, so it's gonna be JJ. And yo, I'm just looking like, dang, yo. Y'all see where we've come from season 1 to now? That JJ is starting and he's first choice? Which, okay, granted, because Jordan got hurt, but he's now cleared and everything, and he still can't even play because JJ done came up that much, y'all. I was like, you know, I can't even hate on him. Although, we gonna see, because he was getting me tight a little bit in this episode too, because it was going to his head a little bit. So, Jordan is upset because, you know, he's ready to get back out on the field. She's not trying to have it. She's like, no. And we heard her before because JJ, he's the unexpected. And Jordan, because he's been in the position a lot longer and more frequently, his moves and everything kind of predictable. So she's not trying to have that for her team. But at the same time, I'm like, miss, you can't be treating him like that. Teach him some new moves. Then we see Asher, y'all. And I see him get hit. I said, ooh, it's about to be Jordan all over again. And don't tell me this is what it's gonna be. It's him over here getting hurt and trying to hide it. I was like, nah, because he done learned about hiding things in the past, you know, so we can't have that again. He done learned from his mistakes. Like I told you, he been doing better, so it's got to be something else that leads to later. But my man got hit kind of hard, so I was like, dang, is this going to take him out of the game? Because he was laying there, and I said, he gonna get up? And they was just looking. But it was just a sec though. Homie got up and shook it off. And he was like, yeah, I'm good, coach. Because he know he done worked too hard to get up in this game. And it's not going to take him out. Okay. This scene with Carrie and Layla. Layla's sitting here at the table, right? The whole time in my head, this whole scene, I'm just like, Layla knows what's up now. Her eyes have been opened. So let me see how this plays out. So she's sitting here going over her stuff for her finals and everything. Carrie walks up. The first thing, I'm just like, damn, Layla, you do not learn. She's spilling more information. Why does this girl know that you have another family home in Lake Tahoe? What prompted you to give that information? That's what I want to know. Why are you telling her this information? You should know already. So maybe you opened up when you were in your little center and everything, or when she first got to your house. Who knows? But that's too much information. So she's like, oh, when you finish your finals and everything, we can go visit your dad's home in Lake Tahoe. And I'm just like, red flag, girl. Done seen too many movies like that. Well, I haven't, because I don't do scary movies. But I've heard, girl, you don't do that kind of thing in Lake Tahoe. And she don't want, you know, she don't want nobody else there with y'all. So that's a no-no. So she's like, oh, well, why don't we reach out to your parents? And this girl, Carrie, once she hear parents, no, she wants no parts of that. No, not my parents. And this girl, Layla, I'm just like, mistake number 2. She's like, well, I've spoken to them. When you told her mom to let you try to handle it and get Carrie to come to them, that is not what I thought you meant, girl. That is not how you get someone who is mentally unstable and crazy to go back to their parents. Why would you tell her that? You ease into it. You tell her something like, oh, why don't we invite your parents over? Okay, I know your relationship isn't great with them, but why don't we try reaching out to them? I can reach out to them with you, you know, or let's go see them together. Don't just come out of nowhere like I've reached out to them when she's been telling you up until this point that she hasn't heard from them. So Now she knows, well, how did you get in contact with my parents? You ain't think of that, Layla? Girl, that you went snooping through the girl's stuff and that's how you got her parents' contact information? Because you know the rehab facility isn't going to give it to you. Confidentiality. She ain't think of that, y'all. So I'm like, oh, here we go. Now, she was crazy. Now she batshit crazy. And it's all because of Layla. So Carrie now was looking spooked and she's like, oh my goodness, my parents are a trigger for me. Why would you do this? And Layla's just like, oh, you know, no. Let's go to Lake Tahoe. And the way she's talking, because Layla thinks she has the situation under control. You do not. You're going through recovery still yourself. You have issues of your own that you're working through. You can't be everywhere at once. So when you're with Coop, this girl is in your house by herself, going through your stuff. And I thought she was onto it, y'all. I thought she was doing better. And I even started this right here, this little segment, thinking she was doing better. But as I'm saying it out loud, she not. My girl, she need help. And she gonna need some help. So she's like, let's go to Lake Tahoe. Well, we can do that. We can get away. And this girl, Carrie, she's just like, yeah, my parents are a trigger for me in the same way that your dad is for you, the exact same way. Her dad is nothing like your parents. We don't even know nothing about your parents, girl. So don't even sit here and try to compare her relationship with her father, who I'm pretty sure you've never met because he's always MIA, to your relationship with your parents. It's not the same. And she's seen her daddy recently. When's the last time you seen your parents? Because you've been missing this whole time. Crashing up in Layla's house. Planning. And she don't even know it. She thinks she know now that Carrie crazy and that she might do something. But she don't know that she about to do something. So we have Jordan and Asher, and they're up in the locker rooms. And Asher lets Jordan know that Spencer is up for the All-American game. And, you know, you can see it in Jordan's face. He's a little taken aback by that. But then JJ shows up. And, y'all, okay, JJ, I like JJ. But his face in this was just, it was irking me, y'all. And it's mostly just due to the fact that he was so cocky that he's the one that's starting. And also Jordan was annoying me as well. They both were annoying me. Jordan was annoying me as well because he's in his feels because he doesn't get to start. And, you know, he gave JJ those words of encouragement a few weeks back that helped him to pick up the game from where they were losing at and take it from there, so that way they ultimately performed a lot better and won. So he feels that he gave him that boost from that point to be able to play better and perform better, and he wouldn't be starting now had it not been for him. So he feels entitled to the fact that, okay, yes, I got injured, but I've been cleared and I've secretly been training this whole time, so I feel well enough to play. And you shouldn't be playing. And then also just the way he was coming at JJ too, I was like, you're wrong for that, because he has been helping the team this whole time that you have been out. And yes, he's coming across annoying right now, but so are you. And you're supposed to be teammates, so y'all need to get that together. If anything, y'all both shouldn't be starting, man. She need to put somebody else in. But can't have that. Alright, so we have Mama Grace, y'all. And Mama Grace, listen, you need an award for yourself, because the way you be showing up for your babies, I don't know, Dylan ain't been doing much, so you haven't really had to show up for him. But for Spencer, lady, you deserve a lot more credit than what I feel you be getting and the way he be talking to you sometimes, but we gonna let that slide. So Mama Grace, you know, she puts on this celebration up in the cafe for her baby because he's the All-American, and she gotta let everybody know, you know, he came to Crenshaw, he did what he was supposed to do, and look where it got him. Everybody gonna hear about it. So he gets down, and we get another Spolivia moment, and they go in there talking. He goes in to try to give his girl a kiss, you know, and she pulls away. And when she pulls away, he's taken aback by it. So here's the thing. He says, you remember when you said, did it feel weird? Well, it's starting to feel weird. And she's in her head. That's what she's saying. She's in her head, and she wants this relationship wholeheartedly, but because she's in her head, is not allowing her to fully commit to the relationship. Spencer, I feel, should be a little more understanding to the fact that she is in her head and why she would be in her head. You know, because he knows that she's been into him this entire time. Oh, okay, this is gonna be something else, but let me just touch here really quickly. Season 1, when Spencer and Chris were at the homecoming dance, and Chris was telling him, you know, we could be moving forward, but it's her non-sister brotherly like feelings that she has for you. And Spencer was just trying to brush it off like, no, you know, I know she had those feelings before. Like, I figured she had those feelings, but not anymore. And Chris was like, no, they're still there. And then they look over to Liv, and she's giving him these like glances because he knew what was up. So, but he was just trying to deny it in that moment because also he was feeling Layla at the time. So early on, he knew how she felt about him. Now fast forward to this moment here, he knows that this girl has been feeling him for a very long time. He knows possibly from the moment she laid eyes on him that she's been feeling him and that she truly wants this relationship, that she's put out there how she feels about him. And at the same time, he also knows that other people have been hurt in the process of them trying to come together. So with Layla finding out the way she did, and Asher as well, because she was in a relationship with Asher, kind of, and her and Layla were best friends, but, and also Layla thought she was trying to get back with Spencer at the time and everything like that. So she felt like she was stepping on toes trying to move forward with Spencer, or if she were to move on with Spencer, while all of those other situations were going on. He knows all of this. So the fact that he's a little, you know, hurt by the fact that you're pulling away from me, yes, this is starting to become weird. Understandably, because look at everything that has led up to this point, sir. She's been through a lot, and on top of all that, my girl was in recovery. You know, she had a relapse, so all of this is playing into it. And the fact that okay, yes, it's easier for you to just dive right into this relationship and, you know, put it all out there. Yes, we're together, you want the whole world to know. She's a little more hesitant to do so because of everything that has led up to this point, and she doesn't want to have their relationship ruined before it actually starts. And I don't feel like you're really seeing that in this moment, you know? So now she's trying to make an effort because she doesn't want to ruin the relationship before it actually starts. And she does want to be with him normally, so she'll do everything she can to make that happen. So they end up calling over Simone and Jordan. Simone already knows from when she told her. And I was like, Jordan already knows. So these are probably the last two people you should be telling, because they would be expecting it already. Everyone else doesn't know. She's basically holding his hand and everything. Like I figured, Jordan's just looking like, what's the news? And someone's like, you don't see them holding hands? What was cute though was Jordan being like, oh, he's your boyfriend now. And, you know, Spencer trying to be all considerate. He's like, oh no, we're not putting a label on it. But Liv, because this is her way of taking a step forward in the relationship, was just like, yep, he's my boyfriend. And I'm just like, okay, this is a great step because she's putting it out there. And yes, there are other people around, not any real important people right now. So I'm looking at Simone and Jordan, and I'm just like, they already expected you two to be together. He legit just pushed you towards going to get your man just the other day. It was like the other day, I feel like. Just the other day, he was pushing you to go get your man. So these are the last two people that you two should be telling and putting your affection on display for. But she goes in, she claims her man, kisses her man and everything, and just a cute... This episode is full of so many cute moments. The little scene between as she's going in to kiss Spencer, and Jordan's like, you're not gonna let me walk away first, and she's just like, nope. It still goes in, and it's Simone with her period. I was like, what came next for those two though, I was like, dang. So then we follow with Liv basically taking her telling Simone and Jordan as a start to them letting everyone know about their relationship, which, like I said, those two already expected it. So Spencer, he's like, it's a start, but you know, her parents still don't know. And that's also who I'm ready to see how they take this relationship, because Billy's like a father dynamic to Spencer, but then at the same time, you know, he was living up in their house and everything, so I gotta see how this goes. And then I couldn't even see it the way I wanted to because of how Billy's mood was when he did find out. Let me not jump ahead, but y'all know. And I don't, it just changed, I feel. Had he not been as upset as he was in that moment with what happened leading up to him finding out about them, his reaction would have been completely different. And I would have loved to have seen what that reaction would have been like, as well as Mama Laura. But yeah, outside of her being in her head with their relationship, y'all see how cheesy she is with him and seems so like genuinely happy with just being able to know that they're in a relationship together and that they don't have to hide their feelings or suppress their feelings for each other anymore, and that they can just be. She still has her sense of humor. It's great to see. We love to see it. Don't we love to see it, Jackie? We love to see it. Y'all, I gave Asher so much credit, and this boy was up in here snitching. I was like, okay, I get it, because I get it a little bit, because y'all got this big game coming up. You're going against the team who knows your plays. Only Spencer knows, and Spencer's not that type. He's saying, okay, it's because, yes, he was training Jordan because he was helping Jordan get back on the field and everything. Also snitching because he's like, yeah, he was doing it before Jordan was cleared by the doctor and everything. But it's the fact that even if he didn't want to use the plays against them, it's ingrained into his memory at this point because he's been training Jordan, so automatically he's gonna know. But I'm just like, dang, you had to tell? He ain't have to. But what got me though is the fact that, okay, so when he comes in, she's complimenting him on his progress up until this point and everything, which granted, he's been doing well. And he thinks that they should switch up their plays because Spencer knows, since he's been training Jordan this entire time. But the fact that this man took it, he was like, can I help coming up with new plays? I mean, get it where you can get it. And he was like, this is my opportunity and I'm gonna take it because I've already gotten this offer from Coastal, so I can only go up from here. And I'm just like, dang, that's supposed to be your bro though. And he don't even seem like he really care. Alright, so we find out that Jordan did get into the All-American game, and I was just like, thank you, because I'm tired of this kid moping around about missed opportunities and not being able to play football, yada yada. Now he's in a better mood. And I was just like, I don't know, I kind of didn't want him to get it, but at the same time, I wanted him to stop moping. So just give him something. And at the same time, we see Coop, right? Which, when Mama Grace is up on that stage talking, I was looking out at the audience and I was like, where's Coop? Why isn't Coop there? So Coop shows up and she's talking to Spence, you know, congratulating him because they're both getting what they want out of life that they've been working to achieve up until this point, and he's wishing her luck on her upcoming tour and everything. It still feels odd though, y'all, their relationship, because we know that they're still working back to how they were before. So it just feels, you can still sense that when they are together now, that they're still trying to work through their relationship and get back to what feels comfortable for them. And now I'm just like, dad, they're about to be apart again, so it's gonna be even longer, I feel like, until they get back to that, because they're gonna each be doing them. And so she ends up dipping out. Cute moment. We have Coach Montez and assistant coach Asher, and they're coming up with some new plays. And surprisingly, it's not that surprising because that's his bro, you know. But considering the fact that he put homie on blast earlier, I was surprised that he was trying to get him in for this game now, because he's saying, you know, Jordan will be able to make that pass, which Jordan's been doing this for a while. And so he's trying to get Jordan out there, and I was like, it's the least you can do considering the fact that you done snitched. But Coach Martell, she was hating still, y'all. She was just like, next play. I was just like, dad, girl, you ain't even gonna hear him out? So Spencer gets a little meeting from Crenshaw Legend, right? I was like, yeah. What's next? And y'all, Billy, were people that were on the come up for me, they got knocked down some pegs this episode. Papa Billy being one of them. So he's talking to Spencer. Spencer was just like, oh, you know, I heard about Jordan, and Papa Billy's excited because, you know what, scratch that. Billy, because he got me tight in this scene. Billy's excited because both of his boys are All-Americans and they're going to be able to play and everything. And, you know, Jordan's really been trying to get back out there. So Spencer's feeling guilt as he's talking about Jordan and ends up telling him, I was like, Dad, what's with these people blabbing their mouths? So he ends up telling him how he has been training Jordan this whole time to get him back onto the field. And Billy was just looking like, you risked my son's future, his life? I was like, okay, I feel like you're exaggerating just a little bit there. And Spencer's trying to tell him that he was going to do it regardless, which we heard Jordan say, with or without Spencer's help, he was going to train. So he did him a favor. And Billy, it's like all he heard was that he's been training him and not the fact that he was going to do it regardless. So you should be happy that he was there to guide him and to assist him. And the fact that Spencer has been learning from you this entire time. So everything that he's teaching Jordan, for the most part, are things that you've taught him. So why are you so upset? Because I feel like he helped save your son and he helped train him in a safe way. And Billy's just not seeing that. And it irked me too, how upset he was, and the fact that as soon as Spencer just let it out that he's been training Jordan, it was like Billy just saw red and he flipped the switch, because that's why he was all cheesy and smiling and everything, talking about, yes, my two boys, All-Americans, and then it just, you've been training him, and he didn't want no parts. It was like Spencer was just a stranger to him. It was like Spencer was just another dude on the team at that point, and like he hadn't been living up in the dude's house. Poor Spencer, because could you imagine this guy who took you in and gave you better opportunities and that you look up to, and who he's your coach, for him to be this upset at you. So Spencer's like, you know, I thought I could help him, keep an eye on him, and freaking Billy, he was like, I was like, and Spencer flinched. I was like, where's the fly? Like, why are you clapping in his face that hard? And he's like, how could you betray me like this? I thought I could trust you. Sir, have we not seen everything Billy has done up until this point? And the fact that you're getting on a teenage boy this hard, for what reason? Because I'm not understanding. You sat here and covered for your son, covered for Asher, well, took the blame for Asher, who was someone else's son. So I don't see what's the main difference here, because why are you so upset at him? Honestly, I was just so confused at the fact that he was this upset, and poor Liv. Liv had no idea when she walked up, and she was just so unexpected. And she's like, oh, well, I guess now's the time to tell you. Like, girl, not the time. And then the realization on Billy's face, and I was like, that's what you get. Good for you, because now this disappointment to you is dating your daughter. That's exactly what you get, which he gonna be the best thing for her. And the simple fact that he couldn't even really take in the fact that they're in a relationship, because he was still stuck on the whole him training Jordan without Jordan being cleared yet. And I was like, you know what? When it sinks in, that'll just be something else that he's upset about because he's still reeling from the whole Jordan situation. Good for him. Liv looks so confused. I mean, I would have been confused too walking up in that situation, but she looks so confused, and I was just like, that's not the way you wanted your pops to find out that you and Spencer's like basically a son to him at this point. That y'all are together now. This is not the way. And then slept it off, and he's still tight. So he come downstairs, and Jordan, he all hyped to talk about his little cereal discovery. But Billy don't care. So he brings up him secretly training with Spencer. So now Jordan knows they all snitching left and right. I was a little taken aback because now his dad knows that he's been secretly training with Spencer this whole time. But that quickly fades because he throws out the point that, okay, you've done things in the past that, I mean, you shouldn't be too proud of. So, you know, we're Bakerman. We do what it takes to make it happen. And Billy ain't even have no comeback. My boy Spence, you know, he was just standing there taking it because 1, that's not his daddy. 2, that's his coach. 3, apparently in this moment he was respecting his elders. And 4, he didn't want to make matters worse. Whereas Jordan don't care, you know. He's not starting in this game. He feeling a little high right now because high in the sense that, you know, feeling high because he just found out that he's All-American, and because his dad did some things as well in the past that were questionable. So how are you gonna sit here and get on me when you've done things as well and you were grown doing those things? So you should know that I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get back out there. That's why Billy was just sitting there looking like, and he got up and walked away. Mic drop. Alright, so Layla, she was a little taken aback, finding out that Spence and Liv and solidified their relationship. Liv came up in the studio. I was like, Layla done invited you to the studio? And she was like, oh, we've been trying to get a hold of you. I said, oh, she said we. And Layla, she was like, we? I said, you heard it too. She was like, yeah, me and Spencer. She said, oh, you're a we now. So you guys can stop pretending that it's just a friendship. I was like, I mean, she has to throw a little jab in there somehow. So that was her little jab there, right? It didn't hit too hard though because Liv still got the man. So she doesn't want to talk about that though. And I was like, I told y'all, she got too much going on. So yeah, she is hurt by the fact that at how the relationship came to be between the two of them and the fact that now they're officially together, but she got more pressing matters at hand. So she's like, you know what, that's not even what I wanted to talk about. She want to talk about crazy Carrie, psycho Carrie, because Carrie, y'all, is unwell. She's unstable. And she done talked to Carrie's mama, and Carrie's mama told her, but she wasn't trying to hear. She was like, let me try. Let me try. And so she's telling Liv, and Liv was like, unwell. That word right there, unwell. What you mean she unwell, girl? And she don't think she should be handling this situation. Layla, you're in no position to deal with this sort of situation. And the longer that you're with this girl, the more risk you're putting yourself at. So Liv and I are not understanding what she's trying to accomplish here. And I don't even think she understands, which is why she called Liv in the first place, because you're telling her she's unwell and Liv is telling you that that's a little much, girl. That's a little, we know she's crazy and that she has an obsession with you. And even her mama done told you she unstable. Liv, I was like, Dad, Liv, I thought you was going to give some more advice, or at least, you know, suggest to go and talk to Carrie with her, even though I know you and Carrie didn't get off to a good start, but, you know, hide in the cut or something while she's talking to her just to make sure she good. But Liv, she got her new relationship and everything. She got the stuff going on, so she can't be doing all that. So she just tried to give her a little bit of advice, and she was just like, girl, just talk to her, sit her down, talk to her as a friend, and see how that goes. But at the same time, I was like, wasn't that what the situation was up in the house before, when she was telling her, you know, I talked to your mama? Although she shouldn't have told her she talked to her mama. But even then, she was trying to approach her as a friend. Maybe if she sees that you really care for her, then she'll listen. But I'm just like, she been living with you this whole time, and you would think at this point she should know that you really care for her. So no, not everything is there. Some things are missing, because the girl's living in your house. She's showing up everywhere that you're going and butting into your relationships and everything that you have with other people in your life. She should know at this point that, okay, you've opened up your home to me, you've introduced me to your friends and everything, I've gone to events with you. Clearly you care about the girl, but she don't care about that because she crazy. And Layla knows she crazy, but Layla don't know how to deal with crazy. And I was like, she ain't about to get nothing from some sit down with this girl, because they ain't let her out, y'all. I don't know how she got out, but that girl Carrie, something not right. Homegirl Patience, she was like, you know, I've just gotten back from tour and I've had my time to shine, and I don't want to step on any toes and make it seem like I'm trying to overshadow you by going on tour with you now, because Coop is inviting her to come with her. She was just like, oh, I was going to come for a weekend, but Coop wants her to be there for the duration of the tour, especially since Preach and Layla can't go. And I was like, it's the simple fact that she cares enough that she's not trying to take any shine away from you and this opportunity that you have to showcase your music and everything. And Coop has come a long way. So, you know, she's just like, I want you there. And it'll be a great opportunity for both of them to be able to showcase their music together and push both of their careers further along. I was like, yeah, Patience, girl, you better pack that suitcase back up and hit that road again, because what you gonna do at home? Spencer gonna be booed up. Jordan about to be booed up. Who knows how long? Layla, who knows where she gonna be? Asher, like, he about to be going through his own issues, and they're not even friends. Kia, where Kia? Ain't nothing at home for you, girl. So it's time for you to dip. The shade of it all. You seen Billy over there dabbing it up with everybody, and then as soon as he gets to the last person, who just so happens to be Spencer, dab, whoop, went right up in his office, and my man, he peeped it too, because he was just looking like, really, Billy? That's childish. I was like, yo, my guy. Oh, he just last episode, y'all. Wasn't that last episode? Yeah, he got married last episode. Just last episode. I was like, yo, Billy, he really been doing it up in my eyes, you know. Nah, not no more, because he doing too much right now. My man is acting so childish, and I'm not here for it. It's what he needed. My man Spence gets a call from his girl. And y'all know Liv, she be giving him words of encouragement too, just like Mama Grace. And so she's telling him, you know, just give him some time, because he be acting like that. You know, I done disappointed him, so he gonna get over it, which we know he about to get over it. If I was Spence, I'd be like, listen, I'm your best player on this team. You better treat me right. Then she lets him know about Layla, because she done told Layla about them. And that, you know, she's not about to be too worried about them, because she don't worry about this crazy Carrie girl. And the fact that I was like, dang, yo, they have a little moment on the phone before he go play his game and everything. And Billy come out the office barking. Because he's in his feels. Spencer, bus. He know what a bus at? Like, when this girl Mo came walking up on Dre as he's checking off Coop's checklist for tour. And she's like, Dre. And he jumped. I was like, oh Lord, she punking this dude, cause he looked so frightened. I was just like, man, she found the weakest link and went right to that one, put her claws in that one, was like, you gonna do my dirty work? And it's him. I was like, say it ain't so. Layla has her sit down with Carrie, her friend sit down, because she needs to let her know that she's there for her, but she's worried, and she wants her to go see her parents. So she's bringing the topic back up, and this girl Carrie, she was like, you trying to get rid of me? And Layla's like, no, I'd love to go to Tahoe with you, but I feel like we should, you know, see your parents. Well, that you should see your parents. And Carrie's just like, well, will you go with me? I said, ain't no way. She is this calm. After she was just like, there are triggers for me. No, they don't want nothing to do with me. They haven't contacted me. All this negative stuff she's been saying about her parents up until this point. And now she's just like, okay, but will you go with me? And Layla's just like, of course. Like, of course, you know? And then we can go to Lake Tahoe. Whose friend is this? Layla. I'm not about to claim this girl no more because she is too trusting and naive, because I was hoping that she still kept her guard up, but when I saw later, I was like, really? I can't. You know what? It's because daddy wasn't around, mama wasn't around in the later years of her life, so she's had to do a lot on her own, you know? I'm gonna try to cut it to that because she got a lot to figure out, because, and you know, she don't got the time to, as we're gonna see. So this girl Carrie, she knows what she's doing, and Layla thinks she knows what she's doing, but she's a puppet. She's just being controlled at this point, and she don't see it. We done made it to the game, and we see Spence and Chris, who's over here looking like Celie, getting off the bus, and Chris notices Beverly arguing, specifically JJ and Jordan, and they're arguing because now the team apparently knows that Jordan was training with Spencer and he knows the plays, but JJ's making it seem like the entire team knows the plays, when in reality, Crenshaw, they didn't know that he was training Jordan, so they're just as upset now finding out that he's been training Jordan this entire time, and to them it seems like a stab in the back to their team, and why are you helping the other team? And Jordan, the audacity to sit here and be mad at Spencer, which, okay, you know, he was snitching. I don't know why he sat there and told Billy. I know he felt some guilt, but I wouldn't have said nothing. But the audacity, after he done sat here and got you back to a point where you can actually play, and he's upset with Spencer because Spencer told his dad, you should be thanking him, sir, because you're only where you are right now because of him. But when this fight breaks out, y'all, and I see these hands being thrown, I was like, yo. But they didn't even care. Their own teammates, other teammates, Jordan. Yo, when I saw Jordan knock Spencer out, I was like, Dad, he helped you get that arm back. Yo, they were going in. When I tell you in, well, y'all saw legit in Frosto. I was like, yes, thank goodness somebody punched Frosto in the face, and Asher, because Asher was over there. It's my fault. I'm the one that told Montez, little snitch, throwing hands. And I'm like, yo, they about to be mad tired, and they're supposed to be playing this game. If they could play the game, somebody should just throw a football up in there while they were out there throwing hands like that, because the way they were fighting out there, that could have been the game right there. Coop be wilding sometimes, but she be knowing all the right questions to ask, because this boy Andre, I was like, my guy, you have to work on your line, because the excuses that he was coming up with, why he was driving separately, why he couldn't go in the boxes, I was like, lies. And she knew what was up too. She was just like, yo, she was giving him the look. She was just like, I was like, yo, she gotta talk to Layla. See, it should have been Coop talking to Layla, and Coop getting the feel for Carrie, which I'm like, yo, you don't be up in Layla's house with this girl working on y'all music and stuff. You don't be seeing. But I feel like she should be seeing a little more of Carrie than Liv. So she's looking at Andre sus, because he's coming up with all the excuses about why he can't ride with them and why he's putting all these merch boxes under the tour bus but can't go in them. Makes no sense. So we see the teams get a good talking to. We got Coach Montez talking to Beverly, and Papa Billy talking to Crenshaw, and basically they're in jeopardy right now of not being able to play because of the fight that they just had with each other. And y'all see how they look? Man, they look like they sure enough got up in a fight. A heated fight too, because they all beat up. Got blood everywhere and everything. So I was like, they won't have enough strength to play this game, if they could play this game. So basically, Papa Billy wants Coach Montez to be on board with him with downplaying the situation and making it seem like it was just a little disagreement, nothing too heated and everything. Ends up telling this story, which is basically about his life and how football saved him. She ends up getting on board, and it is what it is. They end up getting to play because she agrees to, after a little push in him telling his whole story, ends up agreeing, and so just letting them know that it wasn't a big deal, the fight that they had. So now they're able to play. I like that Billy and Coach Montez have more of like a friendly relationship building between the two of them. But I also would have liked to have seen another conversation happen post-fight between some of the teammates between both teams, Crenshaw and Beverly, which hopefully season 4 we're picking up either right where they left off because of these freaking cliffhangers, or not too far after, and that they give us like, you know, some flashbacks hopefully. But yeah, I feel like I would have liked to have seen something where, you know, they talk about a situation, but everything was just left at the height of everyone's storyline. So it makes sense that that's all we got, because this was their height right here, this fight. And I was like, dang, gotta wait. All the progress I've given Layla up until this point, you know, giving her props and how much her eyes have been opening over the last few weeks, I take it all back. This, Carrie, I see Carrie writing a little note, right? I was like, what kind of letter is that? A little goodbye letter? I don't know what it was, because they didn't even show us at that point, right? But I knew it was going to be good. And then I look, and I see Layla walking out the door as Carrie's folding up the little letter and putting it on the counter with a pen. How you leaving your house and got this girl still in your house leaving after you? How that make sense? But this is your house. You gotta lock up and everything. Why is she still in your house without you? If you're both going to the same place, you're supposed to be leaving at the same time, this is your house guest, and you have her in your house still while you're heading out the door to, what, go warm up the car? She could have did that. And this girl, forget Layla. I need a break, because I can't. We got Coop, and she's on her tour bus, and we got Patience girl chilling over here on the sofa, and my girl look like she's ready for a nap. But they get pulled over because apparently they've been tipped off about narcotics being on the tour bus, and it has to be inspected. I was like, all this time, Mo's been planning this revenge plot on her, and this is what it is? And the fact that the dude that you chose to carry out the plan was so bad at lying, because we could tell, this is what we get. I was like, nah, this can't be it. This cannot be all we get. And it wasn't. I said, oh, let me not look ahead. I'm about to be like them foreshadowing. We gotta get there. Back at the game, and they all know now that they get to play. And Jordan, with his bruised up face, finds out that him and JJ are actually going to be playing together and switching in and out. Thanks to Asher's plays, apparently. I was like, I'll give you that. You did something good. Even though you snitched on him, we're going to give you that because you still made it happen. And before, listen, he wasn't going to get to play at all if it was up to Coach Montez. And now, because she found out about him training and everything, and because they had to switch up the plays, he gets to play now, thanks to Asher and his suggestions. And I was like, oh, all right, boy, I see you. That's your boy. I give it to you. So he's all excited. They make nice and everything. And then Asher's daddy shows up. And I was like, why he back here? And then I found out. Y'all, poor Asher. his daddy tell him he can't play, right? And he was like, what do you mean I can't play? Coach Montez, he's telling me I can't play football. What does he mean? And then he find out from his daddy that, okay, yeah, when they did the testing and everything, when his ribs got bruised, nothing was wrong with that, but turns out he got a heart condition. And they didn't even know it till just now. And now he breaking it to him at this huge game that he gotta play, and he can't even play it. I said, Lord, where's Nessa? Where's Nessa when you need her? And it was the finale. Where's Nessa at, man? And she wasn't there, and he took it hard, y'all. Y'all saw all the work that he been putting in this season and trying to get back on the field, and he made it happen for himself. He has been there for his teammates this entire time. The whole Liv situation, when they broke up and everything, he took that really well, but then also because he was starting to feel Nessa at that time too. So, you know, things were looking up for him. And his relationships with his parents were in a better place. And now for his dad to tell him that because of this heart condition, he can never play football, that is not a slap in the face. That is a stab in the heart. And I was like, his heart already hurt because of this condition. So, well, he don't know it, but he don't feel it. But he felt that stab, and I was like, dang. So the letter that Carrie wrote when her and Layla were leaving the house, Layla's dad finds it, we see, and he's reading it. Well, we hear Carrie's voice. Actually seeing the letter and hearing Carrie's voice in the background, like reading it, I was like, this is not hitting the same as Papa Corey with his letters to Spencer. I was like, what kind of Lifetime drama is this? Because that thing sounded so crazy to the world that failed me. I was like, Miss what? And her daddy, because he knows something ain't right after reading that letter, and he looked and she just put C at the bottom. I say, yo. And he went calling his baby girl, and this girl then threw her phone in the trash. I said, Layla. Girl, Layla is up in the car. She's like, I can't believe I left my phone at home. I could have sworn I put it in my purse. You know what? Listen. Girl, Carrie's like, you don't need your phone. I'm like, and then the shot of them going down the street, it just brought me back, flashback to when she had her little breakdown moment going to the cliff, and she was driving down the street on the verge of, you know, making herself crash. I was like, oh, please don't let this girl Carrie try to take control of the wheel and whip them into some oncoming traffic or something, because that shot, I was like, this shot seemed a little too suspenseful for my heart. But that ain't happened. But we know something else about to happen, and I was just like, yo, she did this to herself. Layla, she did this to herself. I hope whatever happens to her is not too bad, but she welcomed whatever is coming to her from Carrie. We done all tried to warn her, y'all, and she didn't want to hear it. And when she did want to hear it, she didn't want to see it. And when she did want to see it, she saw what she wanted to see and thought she could do whatever she wanted to do to try to fix the situation. But that ain't it. So Coach Montez, we know she hasn't shown any sort of real emotions up until this point. So her hearing about Asher, I was shocked, and I saw her over there crying. But then at the same time, I could see her relationship with Asher building over the course of this season, and her genuinely being happy with how far he's come over this season and getting himself back out there on the field and everything, and leading up to now getting this scholarship. So she's really been there to support him, and she's wanted this for him no matter how hard, like, she's been riding on him this whole time. So to see her over there crying on the side while he's in there breaking down in the locker room, I was like, dang. And poor Asher, man, she gains a little bit of her composure, and she heads out because, you know, the game is about to take place, and he's just stuck in there with this news and has a full-on breakdown and starts destroying stuff. I was like, oh, he got some energy left though, and he starts pulling off his equipment and everything because he can't use it. And, you know, he's taking it hard because this is something he's worked for this entire time, and to have it come so close, you've not only worked hard for yourself, but you also helped your friend, even though you snitched on him, get back in the game as well, and made it possible for both of them to play. And you made those accommodations for the both of them. So it hurts even more so for him knowing all the good that he's done. And this one homie got, I said, dang. I'm hoping though, because of, well, assistant coach Asher, I'm hoping that he takes on more of that role. And I know it won't be the same, he's used to being out there on the field, but maybe that'll be like some sort of solace for him to be able to help from the sidelines and contribute in a different way to the team. But it's definitely going to take him some time because he was not expecting this. We see that they're about to head out now for the game, and they're not even giving side eyes. No, they don't even care. They were like, you're going to get this full head turn and I'm going to be glaring your face because they don't like each other right now. And I was like, this game about to be heated. And we didn't even get to see it. The second I saw Coop show up to Mo's, I was like, nah, this the moment here. I was like, this is not going to end good. So she's telling her, you put Andre. But everyone knows about Andre. So she basically unloaded the narcotics before they even left because she knew they were in there. He's not no good liar. So Mo, I'm just looking at Mo's face. Mo looks, she looks tight. Mo looks disgusted. Mo looks fed up. Mo looks like she is ready for full-on revenge. And I was like, girl, Coop. I was like, Coop, you're not ready for this. You weren't even ready for Tyrone. You think you're ready for Mo? The sister of Tyrone? And so Mo pulls a gun out, right? I was like, oh. So Coop, she's looking, she was like, this not you. This isn't going to bring him back. Mo ends up lowering the gun. I was like, or so you think, girl. And she was like, so we good? That's how you know she young. She was like, so we good? Looking all, she looks so innocent. And like she really thought Mo was about to let her walk. And Mo was just like, you know what? Second thought, pulls it right back up, right? I was like, yo. And Mo was just like, nah, we not good, girl. That's what was going on in her head. Pulls the gun up, and just as she's about to sit there and fire that shot, another shot go off, right? And I was like, nah, I saw some dust leave Mo's gun too, so I know her shot went off. And we see Preach coming around. I said, oh, hold up. Preach, actually, he showed up for Coop. I was like, Preach, he was seeming kind of shady a little bit there. But Preach showed up. And he shot Mo. I said, I thought I would not see the day. I know he didn't like Mo. He wasn't trying to mess with her like that anymore. And, she done hid his daughter from him. His daughter. And everything. But the fact that he actually shot her, I was like, ooh. Coop is his people's. He gonna do anything for Coop. So he go over to Mo. And he looking. And all I hear is, Preach. I look. I said, oh, she right there. Shoot her. Sure enough. Got shot right here. I said, yo. Coop got shot, y'all. But I know she ain't dead. She just gonna be up in a wheelchair for a little bit, I feel. They ain't gonna kill her off. But she gonna sure enough milk it. And it's gonna really get her and Spencer back together right here. Because his homegirl since childhood got shot. I said, yo. Preach was there. Preach was quick, but he wasn't quick enough. He should have shot that thing just a little second quicker. He was like, poop. Mo never got that shot out. I said, dang, something actually happened to Coop, Something that was meant for Coop happened to Coop. Got what was meant for her, I mean, she shouldn't have got shot, but I'm just saying that bullet that Mo shot, it was intended for it to go to her, and it actually did go to her. And I was like, yo. So season 4, yo, we done. That's it. This is the end of season 3. Don't y'all feel like this thing went by mad quick? I was like, I feel like we just started this January. And now look at us. It's been real, y'all. This is about to be something. But thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you all so much. And I will see you all next time.